All right, let's talk Gas Extreme, Chad.
That's right.
Tell me about it.
So, Gasoline Extreme, it's formulated to be the strongest injector cleaner out there on the market. You know, a one-tank cleanup. Formulated features high effective PEA detergent to clean and control deposits found on the fuel injectors, carburetors, intake valves, and combustion chambers.
There we go. We know for a lot of Mike said he just posted a video using Gas Extreme last week. A lot of people know who follow us here at Hot Shot Secret that we don't put a product out unless we know it's going to be the best of the best. So that's why Gasoline Extreme is one of those products that took, 3-4 years before we came out with. We had people always ask, when are you going to have a gasoline additive? When are you going to have something for my, my gas vehicle? And Chris was, Chris, the owner, Chris Gabrelchuk was, he would push back on R&D. How's the results? How's these tests line up? What's it look like compared to the competitors? And it was it's such a competitive space. We weren't able to really do much more than what was out there. Head and shoulders better until 2 years ago, roughly, when we launched Gasoline Extreme. And once we got to a point with testing, both in the lab and in the field, we were comfortable with some of the results we were seeing. We said, all right, let's do it. Let's pull the trigger and come out with it. And it's quickly become a fan favorite. Yeah,
I mean, I love it. It's in all three of my cars.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Having over 100,000 miles on all three of them. Very beneficial to clean them out, especially.
I just put it in my John Deere lawnmower.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything that's high miles, even if you're just, eclipsing that 30,000 mile mark, you're going to have some buildup in the fuel system. So it's like you said, it's a one-take cleanup. You add it when you're filling up. One bottle will last you 6,000 to 10,000 miles, and then when you're ready to treat again, you just refill, and you'll be well set. But it's potent. We know it's potent, and that's why we got two different treat rates for those who don't know on Gasoline Extreme, an on-road and off-road use. What do those look like?
So 16 ounce for the on-road, that's 45 gallons it'll treat. Then off-road, the 16 ounce, that will do 20 gallons of gasoline. So.
Yeah, and then like I said, every 6 to 10,000 miles, you want to use that. And if anybody out there who uses gasoline additives, and it doesn't call out or mention the PEA detergent that it uses, forgive me, I don't have it off the top of my head. PEA. Well, we know it's a detergent, but what does PEA stand for? You didn't write that on the notes, did you? It's something
we probably can't even pronounce. It's like polypure whatever.
Something. Yeah. But if you've used any gasoline additives prior to ours in the past and it hasn't mentioned PEA detergent, then it's not going to be that effective, because we know as far as technology goes, this is the best that's out there as of today. That's why we put it as part of our formula, and we know it's one of the most effective ones. So talk about PEA specifically. What's your note on that?
Yeah, so
it's part of the formula.
It's part of the formula, and very key, because there's some other people out there that don't have the PEA in them. So not all additives are created equal, but having this is very crucial, because it's that top shelf cleaning agent that frees both hard and soft carbon deposits, as well as buildup.
Yeah. It reminds me on the diesel side, when we talk about internal diesel injector deposits.
Right.
We won't dive down that road too much, but that's relatively new within the past 10 years on the diesel side. There are deposits that form on the internal parts of the injectors. Now, not every additive you buy on the shelf is going to treat that. It takes a very specific kind of chemical to remove those deposits. Same on the gasoline side. This PEA is going to be much more effective at removing some of these stubborn deposits that, if it doesn't have, you're not going to get rid of it.
Right.
So that's a key part of the formula here. But it does do more than just clean, right? We know it lubricates.
It lubricates, yep.
Upper cylinder lubrication. And of course, your other key components in there that need to be lubricated. But we know when we first were doing some lab testing and field testing with the product, we sent out 3 different formulas plus a placebo formula to it was like 1,000 consumers that were willing to try the product out, give us some feedback. And we sent out the product to everybody. We took baselines we asked them to track the fuel economy.
Right.
And we had some pretty good results with all 3 formulas, actually. But of course, we took the winner. We took the best, and made sure it was going to work in the lab the way it's supposed to. The no harm testing, the lubricity testing, everything that we do, both in our lab and third party. Mm-hmm. And we saw some pretty good results with fuel economy.
Right.
It's a call out on our label. What was that?
Up to 7.9%, which is huge, especially now with the prices of gases. Or gas, So.
Do you notice? I don't know if do you track your mileage pretty meticulous or?
I don't, and I wish I had a newer car that probably did it better. That told you, Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I don't really track it, but
I do have a 2014 that on the dash I can flip over and see the fuel economy, and I remember I don't have you can press me. I couldn't tell you wind conditions and routes that I drove and all this stuff, but the first couple probably 6 to 8 months I had it was a 2014 Jeep, and it averaged. And this is city and highway driving combined, usually between 17 to 19 miles to the gallon. Mm-hmm. I added gasoline extreme, and I was getting pretty solid up to about 22 miles to the gallon. Right. And I remember I'm on a Facebook group with Jeeps, and I remember posting it. It was a Grand Cherokee. It still exists. But I posted on the Facebook group of the almost 22, 23 miles to the gallon, and those models, the 2014 Grand Cherokees. Mm-hmm. That's pretty solid, and everybody was asking, and I was like, this is the product right here. So I even personally have some good experience with it.
Yeah, and I would recommend everyone to check out Mike Cole's video that he put together. It kind of talks about that. He drove, I think, down to Myrtle Beach, if I recall. So he took a distance, trip he took, and he got some great results with it. So he put a link in here in the comments. So take a look at Mike Cole's video. One of our influencers too. So
nice.
Does some good stuff. So
appreciate it, Mike. Now that's talk about gasoline extreme. It does a number of different things, but that key component is cleaning. It's gonna clean out the fuel system, and that's where you see the performance gains, both on a little bit smoother idle and pickup, things like that, but on the fuel economy side. And it's that cleaning, removing these deposits. Where are we finding these at? I mean, what's some of the other features and benefits of Gas Extreme that if no one's tried, try to check
right.
out?
Reduce your misfires. Mm-hmm. Even noise and vibration it can help with. It's going to improve your acceleration. That's something that I really noticed using my cars was the acceleration.
More pickup.
It's another great thing. It's safe. It's safe to use on all of your in the emissions.
Yeah, if you got emissions equipment, no issues there.
Right, and it's going to improve those emissions as well. So not only is it helping fuel economy and all this stuff, it's also helping, I guess, the environment. The environment as well with your emissions. So.
Yeah, and we know, question on does it work with smaller engines? Like I said a little bit ago, I put it in my John Deere riding mower, and it seemed to help. This thing's got, I don't know, 700 miles on it, or 700 hours or so, but yeah, absolutely no issues there whatsoever. If it runs gasoline extreme can go in the fuel tank and have no issues.
And my father-in-law has a boat, and this past weekend we went up to Lake Erie, and his boat was having misfire.
Yeah.
Everything was dirty. The carburetor was dirty. Everything was dirty. Mm-hmm. So I need to get him a bottle of Gasoline Extreme and see how that actually works, and if it will take care of his problems without replacing the sensors and that in them.
You should do it as a surprise. Next time you go up to the lake, bring a bottle. Don't tell him.
Right.
Add it.
Because he's one of those old guys, I'll add it,
He don't believe in that.
He doesn't believe in it, but...
the science is there,
Right.
But a guy like that, if you could show him
right.
before and after, and he knows, he's going to know his boat pretty darn well.
Right.
He's going to feel it and know any difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about smoother idle, kind of those knocks and noises. A lot of that has to do with those deposits that are building up throughout the fuel system, but even on the injectors, if you're getting your spray patterns, getting off, you're going to have misfires and that type of stuff. So, and the noise in the rough idle. So, if you haven't tried the product, I challenge everybody to do so. Whether you got a relatively new vehicle that's 20,000 miles or you got something that's 250,000 miles, challenge you to give it a try and give us feedback. We're always asking for feedback.
Especially now that there's more older vehicles on the road than ever before, and people are keeping their cars as well. Mm-hmm. I wish I looked this up this week. I wish I remember the number of how many, older cars are on the road.
I know. I have a 2000,
right,
2007, and 2014.
Right.
And I think that's probably pretty common for most people.
Yeah. Yeah. So mine are 2000, 02, and 16. So
16. What's the 16?
the van.
Okay. Because Chad just bought a truck. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, the truck is 02.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the lowdown on Gas Stream from our side.